So you want to listen to a pretty alright podcast about wrestling, do ya?
Well, the natural lad, Jeff Swag, has said time and time again that there's only one podcast that's the most decent and the most all-rightest in the industry today.
And that's... It's the Game Rage Wrestling Podcast. Welcome back once again to another fine, fabulous, furious episode of Game Rage Wrestling, the premier wrestling podcast on this pitiful piece of shit you call the internet today.
The most decent and the most alright.
It is the most decent and the most alright podcast. And if you want to listen to some more, you can go to Game Rage Magazine on YouTube. You can also follow us. Well, you can like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. You can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram. And you can listen to the All Gas No Trash podcast over there on YouTube. Additionally, if you like anime and manga, you can go listen to the Anime Syndicate podcast. And you can follow our good buddy Frank at anime_syndicate_podcast. All right. Today we're going to talk about Bad Blood 2024.
I feel like we're setting up for Cooper to go nuts right now.
Yeah, he is. He's about to lose his mind. Hold on. Let's just pause it real quick. Let him go crazy. All right. I think Cooper got his fucking zoomies out or whatever. His Barkies.
Jimmy's rustled.
Yeah, his Jimmies were rustled. His almonds were activated to the fullest. And now I think he has chilled the fuck out. So, all right. Hopefully we continue on now with Bad Blood 2024. The first time in 27 years, and, well, not in the first time in 27 years, but the 27-year anniversary of the original Bad Blood In Your House pay-per-view, where the first Hell in a Cell match actually took place between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. Now we have it again, 27 years later, and the last Bad Blood event pay-per-view, that PLE, whatever the fuck you want to call it, we had was in 2003, I believe. So just 21 years ago.
Fuck, it could have been another 27 years for this goddamn pay-per-view to be tucked away.
I mean, basically, yeah. I mean, it could have been. I like the fact that they're bringing this name title back, this pay-per-view title back, because I like the theme of this pay-per-view. But 2003, when we had it, the set was themed, like everything was cool. Now it's just the same old shit.
Shitty graphics on the screens, no stage pieces.
No, nothing.
No props, no nothing.
No, nothing. It's almost like, why even have names? You should just start calling it
PLE1.
No, PLE October 2024. That's what it should. At PLE October 2024, brother, we're gonna fucking take the tag team titles back. All right, like that's just what they should be calling them now.
That's how much effort they're putting in the fucking thing.
But overall, I will say up front, even though we're just going to walk ourselves through each of the matches and everything, I think the good outweighed the bad for me personally. I don't know what the score is.
Yeah, I don't know either, but
I do think for the most part, it was a pretty all right pay-per-view, except it kind of puts at the end where the matches towards the back end of the match card, I didn't really care for.
yeah, they started off. This is, what the fuck are they doing, man? This is what I literally said this to you. I was like, what is fucking going on with the WWE booking and of match orders?
Yeah.
Every fucking pay-per-view, it seems just completely fucked up and ridiculous. This one being no exception. Okay, for the last 3 or 4 pay-per-views in a row, we've had Cody Rhodes defending his title basically at the beginning of the goddamn pay-per-view, right? It's opened the pay-per-view multiple times. Okay, I don't understand why they do that, but okay, if that's the precedent you're gonna set, fine. But then you have this match the Hell in a Cell match between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk that is essentially the entire reason why this pay-per-view is called Bad Blood, right? This is the marquee match of the pay-per-view, okay? Oh, let's open with that. Let's open with the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
And then let's have the World Heavyweight or the undisputed WWE champion being in a stupid-ass tag team match that really in the long scheme means nothing in terms of storyline or in terms of implications. It means basically nothing. I will put that on at the end. Let's put that on at the end. But if anything, it should have been the reverse. Now, I understand with them wanting to bring The Rock, with why the Rock came out, okay, right? I understand that you can't have that happen at the beginning. That little stupid moment has to be the show ending, all right? That's what it has to be. But in this instance, I don't think you do this here. I think you wait to have The Rock come back on the next PLE, whatever the fuck, Survivor Series or whatever.
Or fucking Monday Night Raw, dude.
Right, do that. We already had comeback. We had 3 comebacks tonight, on this pay-per-view. We had Raquel Rodriguez, right? Is that her name?
Yes.
Okay, we had her. We had Jimmy Uso come back.
That was like the most predictable one.
Of
out
course,
of all of them.
we knew that was gonna happen. And then there was a third motherfucker that came back.
The Rock?
Oh yes, The Rock. Right, that was the third one. Okay, so there was 3 comebacks. We could have did without one. We could have did without The Rock one. I feel like
Actually, we could do them with all. Or I think the most necessary one maybe was the Jey Uso one.
Jimmy Uso. Yeah,
Because we need to start preparing for Survivor Series
yeah.
so that they can have the 5 count for the good side, which is going to be probably Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, and maybe Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. And at the end of that,
it's not going to be Kevin Owens.
oh yeah, because they had that thing
After
yeah.
The reason why Cody Rhodes didn't go to the media scrum was because he got his ass whooped by Kevin Owens backstage.
That, I think, even though it's not related to Bad Blood, the pay-per-view itself, it's auxiliary to the event itself. I'm like, oh, that's a cool way to have storytelling elements outside that seem like real events.
Yeah.
And then having people capture footage.
Right.
And making it seem like found footage.
Because they made no mention of it.
Yeah, that's
all.
cool.
They let it go out on Twitter and let people film it.
That's genius.
That is fucking genius. That was a smart fucking play right there by the WWE to generate like this groundswell of fucking, oh shit, we caught something. This was real.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the best things to come out of this fucking pay-per-view, I think. But let's just start from the beginning.
CM Punk.
Well, no, this is even before that. We had a little opening intro.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, I thought this was fucking hilarious, okay? This is sort of showing how this is, again, progressing us further to Netflix on Monday Night Raw. Or Monday Night Raw on Netflix, I should say, rather. This is pushing us towards the next, whatever we want to call it, Attitude Era, I don't know, whatever the fuck it's going to be called.
Yeah, and how we continue to steal ideas from AEW.
Indeed, and do it better. Triple H and Cody Rhodes meet inside this fucking parking garage, looking all sketchy, looking around. Triple H keeps looking around, he hands him this fucking envelope. He's like, oh, eyes only. And I was like, oh man, this is like some Mission Impossible shit right here or whatever. And he's like, it's showing like the pictures and shit of like the old Hell in a Cell match. And like, that was kind of cool, right? And then he's like, oh, Bad Blood. Oh, he's like, it says, and this was back in July, right? And he's like, oh, Bad Blood. Oh, okay. He's like, cool. Atlanta. Oh, nice. And he's like, yeah. He's like, listen, I got you partnered up with Morphin, or no, what's his name?
Metro Boomin.
Metro Boomin. I keep calling him Morphin Boomin. Metro Boomin. And he's like, Cody Rhodes listens and goes, Metro Boomin? And he's like, Cody, how many fucking guys do you know named Metro? And he's like, good point. And he's like, and you want us to sit in a parking lot? Cody, not all assignments can be finishing your story, buddy. All right? Like, that was hilarious. And then he's like, how long are we going to be? And he's like, as long as it takes, man. A classic PLE comeback requires a classic stakeout, man. Classic stakeout. And that was fucking hilarious.
I hated it.
And then he gets in the car. He gets in this shitty Crown Vic, this old piece of shit Crown Vic with Metro Boomin. And they're just sitting there, and he's got the binoculars. He's just looking at the arena, and he's just looking at it. And then fucking Metro Boomin's like, man, don't you have a tour bus? And he's like, don't you have a tour bus? And he's like, yeah, fuck. All right. He's like, they're just sitting there, and then whatever. It was cool that they drove in to the arena in that car. Okay, that was cool. And then they go, I thought that thing was funny.
I hated it.
Yeah, you hated it. Because why? Why'd you hate it?
Because it's the comedic element of this thing about doing like a whole cinematic scene leading up to this event. It's so over the top and ridiculously stupid, which I know is the point, but it also just kind of trivializes how stupid wrestling is.
Maybe.
Like to an umpteenth degree.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I almost didn't want to watch the pay-per-view because of that stupid fucking thing.
Because you're like, do you want me to believe that Cody Rhodes sat in a car with Metro Boomin for 3 months?
And it's also like the classified documents thing is so fucking stupid that Triple H and him are meeting in a fucking parking lot. It's like, bro, this is fucking wrestling.
Yeah.
This is wrestling, man. Come on.
I thought it was hilarious.
Don't make me turn the shit off for a good amount of years again. Because it's so stupid.
I see your point. I just disagree with it. I think it was funny. I think this was one of the highlights of the fucking pay-per-view, as a matter of fact. Now, one of the things that I didn't like is what happened next when we get introduced to our hosts of SummerSlam. I also hate, if you're going to have a host, don't make it wrestlers. Just make it a celebrity or some other asshole. Like,
fucking make it T.I. He's from Atlanta or some shit. Or
where was T.I.? Was he unavailable? Was he caught up in the Diddy nonsense? I don't know. Well, what happened? But
wasn't Ludacris from like Atlanta too?
Yeah, Ludacris is. They could have had a fucking multitude of people host this thing.
Yeah.
But instead we get what I am now dubbing Lady New Day, Bianca Belair, Jada Cargill, and fucking Naomi. I feel like the only reason they did this was part of the shoving it in the face of AEW of like, oh look, we have 2 people that were in your company just recently, and oh look, they're back here again with us, and oh look, we're not even using them to wrestle on a PLE. They're just hosting it. They're just being on the mics. Go fuck yourself, Tony Khan. That's basically what they're doing. But I also don't like it because I don't need to hear Lady New Day hype this fucking thing up. I don't care. We're already hyped for the Hell in a Cell match and whatever. I don't need to fucking hear their nonsense as related to it, all right? So then we get into the first opening match after this.
Wait, I had something to say
go
about
ahead.
it. I think it was reverse racism.
What do you mean?
Because they don't have hosts for the event itself for most pay-per-views, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Usually there's not really a host for most of them. So they decide to do it for this specific pay-per-view that's in Atlanta.
Because
they're black. They're like, all right, we know our demographic is largely black. Or I think they were thinking, okay, there's a lot of black people in Atlanta. Let's have the host be fucking black. So we'll get the new Day with Bianca. Female New Day, right?
why not just have the New Day do it?
Yeah.
They've done it before on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
And they're more entertaining than Lady New Day, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, but I felt like this was just kind of like, okay, well, let's just have them because this reflects our demographic for
Who's in Atlanta?
Yeah.
That is fucking... I think that's real racism, actually. I don't think that's reverse racism. I think it's just actual racism.
I don't understand why they did that. It was better. It didn't add anything.
No.
Neither did the behind the scenes shit when they were.
No.
It
was completely unnecessary, in my opinion. But anyways, we get into the first matchup.
CM Punk versus
which is CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in the Hell in a Cell. Now, I will say, the entrances are, like, the way that they're doing them now is fucking fantastic. Like, the way that this is, and it's become kind of the standard, it's this kind of a cinematic, it's like this, they're using a different camera, I think, or a different lens on the ring entrance itself.
Yeah.
And it's like this cinematic fucking weird, not weird in a good way, but
it doesn't look live.
It looks like a video game.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like I'm watching their video game entrance.
Yeah.
And I will say, it's kind of fucking cool. And, like, Drew McIntyre walking in slow motion. I thought they slowed down the video, right? And then I see people in the audience in the background moving like normal, and I'm like, man, how are they? And I'm like, oh, Drew McIntyre's just real good at walking slow. I was like, oh, that's great. He's literally moving in slow motion, and it looked epic as fuck, man. It was great.
Yep.
CM Punk coming in, CM Punk's entrance was great. Dude, I don't know, man. CM Punk looks old as dirt, man. He looks old as fuck right here.
Oh, he does look old, but man, I will say, I don't think he's looked this good
Ever.
ring-wise in his entire career.
No, this is the best shape he's ever been in.
I also think this is the best match that he's had since being back in the WWE.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh my God, this guy did a 30-plus minute match or whatever.
I'll say, I think this might be the best match he's had since he returned to wrestling. That includes his entire run in AEW.
Yeah.
Like, I think since he returned to wrestling, this was the best match he's put on. And I think his recent, I don't know, whatever change he's made to get himself back into good shape.
Yeah, did he look like he bulked up? Like,
And he's slimmed down in the gut. He's not as jiggly. And he's looking fucking shredded. He's not looking super shredded, but he's looking great. He's looking bigger. And I like that. So, anyways, the match itself, this was, to me, I felt like this was the best match of the night.
It was the best match of the night.
100%. The wrestling in it was great. The storytelling of the match was great. I mean, dude, going under the ring and pulling shit out, like, it's just classic, fucking Hell in a Cell. Classic fucking tomfoolery. Pulling out the toolbox, getting a wrench and fucking sticking it in the fucking open wound. The forehead and, pulling out tables. And for being a Hell in a Cell match, I felt like there was not a whole shit ton of other outside shit going on. There was one table spot that they went through. And then there was a couple little weapon incidents, but like most of it was just them actually fighting each other. And because you know how like in other Hell in a Cell, it's like they'll beat the shit out of each other with chairs, or they'll beat the shit out of each other with like a bunch of other shit.
Well, yeah, I thought they kind of worked their way through all the props. They worked their way through the there was the toolkit, the toolbox that CM Punk used to create a gash, which was the gash that had Drew McIntyre bleeding out of his ass. The table, that was like one spot that took a long time to set up, and they eventually got to it. And I don't even remember what it was. I think it was just a suplex.
It was a suplex off the top rope.
A suplex off?
Yeah.
Or
a
off the corner.
Off the corner post. Yeah.
Overall, like, I don't know, man. I really enjoyed the pacing throughout the match. I mean, there was a portion where I think like the first 15 minutes was just CM Punk getting his shit kicked in, not knowing where he was at. And then the tide of the match changed in his favor.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of went back and forth. But it just felt like good pacing overall. And the spots were pretty sweet. I mean, there was one spot where CM Punk, I don't know if he was dazed or whatever it was, but Drew McIntyre had him set up for a Claymore.
Yeah.
He was like on one of the ring corners.
Right.
And he fucking hits him. And dude, the pop on that shit. Oh
yeah, man.
It was ridiculous. So that was cool to see. And then what ended up setting up unless you have anything to add before we get to like the finale of the match itself.
No. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that. So what ended up setting up the finale of the match itself was Drew McIntyre was going to go for a Claymore, and due to the mechanisms of Drew McIntyre setting up the stairwell or the staircase up in the ring, he ends up missing the Claymore, and his back, his lumbar region strikes the staircase.
God, that was like it hurt like shit, man.
Yeah, and that shit fucked him up, and that set CM Punk up for a GTS. And I think somewhere between before, he has a bag of the beads for the bracelet, or he has a bag of beads calling back to the bracelet that Drew McIntyre broke. And he just dumps that shit all over his face. I'm like, man, this match had fucking everything, man.
Yeah.
It was great. I don't know if I if there was really anything to take away from it itself, but I just thought personally it was CM Punk's best match since joining WWE. Amongst all the matches that he has had, this was definitely the best one. I'm like, all right, cool, man. Like, this is CM Punk in ring shape.
Yeah.
Again, once more. This is him at his best. Now we can expect him to deliver at pay-per-views if he's going to be wrestling consistently.
Well, now my opinion for this now is Drew McIntyre is officially buried. He's out of the contention for the world title for at least the next fucking probably 12 months.
Dude, it's the worst part. I don't know if they're doing this out of irony or like intentionally. I'm not sure if I'm using the right words, but maybe you could piece it together. But they're really setting him up as like the fucking Macbeth of WWE.
Yeah.
All the bad shit happens to him.
Yeah.
He's been on the losing end pretty frequently, and I'm like, shit, dude.
I mean, at WrestleMania, he won the fucking title and then fucking
Stripped
got
it away.
cashed in immediately
from Damian Priest.
And lost. Like, and it's just been downhill from there, man.
Yeah.
And I do think that we are going to see, because this isn't the end of this fucking feud. This may be the end for now, right? It's going to turn into a semicolon. It's not going to be the period. It's going to be a semicolon. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they're going to set up CM Punk to go on, and I don't know when. I think CM Punk potentially wins the Royal Rumble next year.
Maybe.
And I think he goes on to face somebody. I don't know who. But CM Punk's going to get a title run in 2025. And I think that this will be... Them two, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, will not interact until Drew McIntyre is going to... Shit, maybe Drew McIntyre wins Money in the Bank. And then fucking,
CM Punk has to strap up?
Yep. And then fucking Drew McIntyre cashes in and they fight. And then this starts all over again. Or maybe that's where Drew McIntyre is just going to stalk CM Punk and just fuck with him. Kind of doing what Tiffany Stratton did here in the next match that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
But that, I think, is what's going to happen. And this feud will come back. And they will probably trade the title back and forth a couple of times. I don't know which title it's going to be. I hope it's not at Gunther's expense.
Oh, no, he's
I hope it'll be at Cody Rhodes' expense.
Oh, dude, he said some gold in fucking in this pay-per-view.
He did. He really did. So then after this match, we get into... I think they did some more intro... Between every match, we got all these intros of all these fucking legends and celebrities and everybody, right? And I will say, I think one of the reasons why they were showing all these fucking guys and lady is because of the fact that most of them were in AEW just a few months ago and had been on AEW TV, and now they've signed them to a Legends contract, likely. Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, fucking Mickie James, fucking, I don't know. There was a couple other ones that were out there. Oh, fuck, man. We got to see Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner at some point, and I was like, oh, shit, man. Big Papa Pump, is he going to come back and save wrestling? And then when they showed him, I'm like, oh, he does not look like he could wrestle.
He's cooked.
Very emaciated. He is cooked, all right? He has clearly stopped doing steroids, and that is not been good for him. Yeah, it's very much showing. So, whatever. We'll get to see some appearances. I do need to go and get a Scott Steiner fucking autograph, so we need to figure out when he's going to be around here in Southern California so I can go get one.
Yeah.
And hopefully meet him, and then he can sorely disappoint me. Like, because I know that you should never meet people that are your heroes, but, whatever. Anyways, so we get into the next match. Nia Jax, Bayley, WWE Women's Championship.
I was just going to say real quickly.
Yeah.
On the subject of you talking about the rivalry between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, unlike the Bloodline story shit, I think this could go for another few rounds. Mm-hmm. I think it's got life to it.
Yeah, I think it will. And I think it's not going to be immediate, though. Mm-hmm. It's going to wait. It's going to cook for it's going to maybe be put on the back burner on sizzle or on low for the next 6 months. Mm-hmm. Maybe even going through past to WrestleMania. Mm. And then, like I said, Drew McIntyre is probably, maybe he wins Money in the Bank, which happens after WrestleMania. And then potentially we get a SummerSlam or Survivor Series match between the two of them for the title. Oh my God, that's another fucking thing. Well, let's do this match first, and then we'll talk about the the announcement for SummerSlam 2025.
Yeah, all right.
All right, but so we got Nia Jax versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. This match actually, from a technical standpoint, I didn't think was that bad.
I didn't think so either. I thought Nia Jax from like the start of the match. Before I even get to that, Bayley's gimmick, whatever the fuck she is with the pyramid, I don't know what the fuck she's supposed to be. I don't really get what her gimmick is.
Yeah, I don't either.
And I think they need to put it to rest as soon as possible.
Yeah, she needs a rebrand.
This shit ain't working for me.
Yeah.
And also her finisher, the rose petal shit, that shit sucks dick.
Yeah, it does.
But as for the match itself, I think Nia Jax is somebody that I don't particularly like.
Correct.
She actually was kind of pretty decent in this match. She was hitting some fucking mad clotheslines and just beating the shit out of Bayley. And I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate Bayley or anything, but I'm like, it was the fact that it wasn't like a slow trotting match. Like it was Nia Jax like pressing the gas pedal and just trying to eliminate Bayley as quickly as possible with just like blunt force. And I'm like, this is excellent, dude. This is good for her as a heel. And I'm like, okay, she's all right. She's all right for being a heel and everything.
Yeah.
And whatever you gotta say.
And yeah, I'll say particularly in the past, I have been very critical of Nia Jax. And I will say that I don't know what she's done to improve her game or whatever, but she's definitely put in some work to get technically better at this, and it definitely is showing. Yeah. So yeah, this match was by far, in my opinion, of the two women's matches that we had tonight, this was the superior match in terms of just entertainment value of the actual wrestling itself.
The one thing I will say is that they fucked up a few spots. There was, I think. It wasn't a pop-up powerbomb, but Bayley was underneath Nia Jax, and it appeared that Nia Jax was supposed to do is it a monkey flip or sunset flip?
Yeah, sunset flip.
She didn't do it correctly, so it looked botched. But in addition to that, you could actually hear both Bayley and Nia Jax call out their spots throughout the match.
Yeah, that's something that the WWE needs to work on, because they do that all the time, but we don't get to hear it. We don't usually hear it. And so I don't know if it's them miking up the ring to get the impacts better, but they need to have a dude on the sound that just mutes that shit when they're not fucking doing shit. I don't know. But anyways, we had Tiffany Stratton come out and potentially betray Nia Jax, and she was going to cash in and then didn't, and then fucked off, and then Nia Jax ends up utilizing that distraction to take out Bayley and get the pin, and therefore win the title.
Yeah. Like I said, I did not hate this match. This wasn't the worst match on the card.
Yeah,
between the two women's matches, I agree. I think this one was the better one, and that's with the fact that the Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio storyline with Liv Morgan, that has more oomph to it. It has more
that storyline's better.
Intrigue in it.
Yeah, it's more entertaining. But
this one actually pulled off the match better than that one. But
yeah, absolutely. So then after this, I don't remember where exactly this took place in the pay-per-view, but we'll just talk about it now.
Okay.
We get the fucking announcement of Bianca Belair and fucking I don't remember who the fuck was that? It's Cardi B or some fucking other lady that who the fuck was she talking to?
Oh, I don't know. I skipped over that.
Oh, all right. Well, anyways, they're doing this stupid little fucking commercial and basically announcing SummerSlam 2025. And guess what? It's going to be 2 nights. SummerSlam officially confirmed as being 2 nights in 2025.
Pro tip, as if we've gone. Pro tip. Don't even bother going to fucking night 1 because you know it's going to be dog shit. Just go to night 2.
Yeah, just go to night 2. And I don't know why the fuck we're doing. I don't know why they're doing this.
It kind of belittles WrestleMania.
It's starting to.
Because we're
starting to get. Listen, I can understand doing 2 nights from WrestleMania, even though I still disagree with it.
I still disagree with it too.
I can understand why they do it though.
Yeah.
I don't agree with, and I don't understand why they're doing it for SummerSlam now. unless we're gonna go to 3 nights for fucking WrestleMania, now it's starting to not mean shit. And we get April, May, June, July, August. Just 4 months later, we're getting another 2-night fucking extravaganza.
Yeah.
I don't think we need it.
It's like the impact doesn't feel the same once you have a second go around 4 months later.
Right. If anything,
it undercuts fucking WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well, if anything, you should do it for Survivor Series and make it 6 months later. So then every 6 months we're getting, and I do think that what they're going to do, this is the opening salvo, they're going to eventually have the big 4 be all 2 nights. And then eventually WrestleMania will be a 3-night affair. I'm telling you right now.
I know, you're probably right, yeah.
What's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be terrible. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll be great. I don't know. I mean,
think WrestleMania, maybe, okay, I'm not gonna rule out that a 3-day WrestleMania is stupid. I'm not gonna rule it out because I actually think it could work out well.
business-wise, it's gonna be great for them because you sell out. That's three WrestleMania sellouts that you get in a row.
But I'll explain why.
Okay, go ahead.
Day one, nobody's probably gonna go to that. Well, maybe. But Friday will be all the undercard shit.
Yeah.
The dark matches well, they're not really dark matches, but
It'll
the
be
people
some
at the end
NXT
of the
shit, you know.
Yeah, all the small stuff is at the bottom. Some kind of battle royale.
Yeah.
Guys that have grudge matches with each other
Right.
on the lower end of the card. Then Saturday ends up becoming the mid-card shit. Tag team, IC title, US title. And then Sunday will just be the blow-off for all the main event shit.
Yeah.
I think if you book it that way, it would work out well.
Yeah. And that's probably what'll end up happening. And then again, you're going to sell out all 3 nights because, like, again, when they come to LA, if you're doing 3 nights of WrestleMania, we could probably easily get into night 1. I mean, I want to go to night 3 because we know that's where all the good shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
But those tickets are, it's like the Jurassic Park thing when the guy says like, oh, yeah, we'll have a coupon day or whatever. Yeah. Friday night's coupon day. All right. Saturday night's a little bit more expensive than that. And Sunday night is your premier rich people only fucking get to afford to go to night 3 of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Rich people who don't even watch wrestling. That's who gets to go to WrestleMania now. But we'll get to go to coupon night on night 1 so we can say we went to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But yeah, I because next year it's going to be in Minnesota. Wait, where is it? Is it in Vegas next year? Right?
Yeah.
WrestleMania's in Vegas next year, right? Yeah. So I think the year after that it's in Minnesota.
Might be Minnesota.
Fucking Minnesota. Who the fuck wants to go to Minnesota in April? That's terrible. Fucking. Anyways, so that was the big announcement. We'll get into the next match number 3. Damian Priest versus Finn Balor.
This one did nothing for me.
I didn't care about this match. Listen, Finn Balor is a good wrestler.
I hate the sling blade move, dude.
Yeah, it is terrible. But
He does that so frequently. I mean, it's like John Cena with the shoulder bumps.
Yeah.
Whenever he's setting up for the 5-knuckle
Right.
shuffle. But I hate that goddamn move because it's wrapping your arms around somebody and then wrapping it again once you end up right behind them.
Right.
I'm like, what does it do? What the fuck does it do?
nothing. It does nothing.
But this match just did nothing for me, dude. I don't care about this rivalry between Damian Priest and Finn Balor, the Judgment Day bullshit. And also, like, Finn Balor changed his well, not that he personally did it, but the WWE ended up changing his branding or whatever because he had the Finn, but it was like all X'd out.
It was FXXX, so it's like fuck. Like I think that's what they're going for.
But in either case, like I don't see him as a threat, and I don't give a shit.
But to me, this is them changing the Judgment Day narrative
To whatever it is now. Yeah.
Now it's going to be like Finn Balor. It's going to be quote unquote some hardcore shit. That's what I think it's going to turn into. And then obviously within this match, we had the Judgment Day come in and get involved and still didn't matter. Fucking Damian Priest hits the South of Heaven or whatever.
So now Finn Balor loses for the 19th
time in a row. But he's still won half of the tag team champions. So I guess he's got that, right?
But who gives a shit? Who gives a shit at this point?
Yeah, at this point, who cares? But yeah, I didn't give a shit about this match.
There was one spot that was cool that I think Finn Balor was jumping off the top rope or one of the corner posts, and Damian Priest clipped him with like a punch.
Yeah.
And it was loud as fuck.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That was
okay.
cool. Yeah,
Interesting.
all right.
I like that.
Yeah.
But As for the match itself, like I said, I don't care. I don't care about this thing.
Yeah.
It means nothing to
And
me.
this was the shortest match of the night.
Rightly so.
Rightly so. Next matchup, we had Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan, and this was for the Women's World Championship with Dirty Dom fucking suspended from the ceiling in a shark cage. I wanted this match. I cared about this match in terms of storyline more than I did the other one, but I just didn't. I wasn't feeling it, man.
It didn't hit on either end. It didn't hit on like the story end.
It didn't.
And that's with the gimmicky like pinata thing that happened. But the match wasn't even interesting itself. Like I could barely even remember it.
Yeah, that's the one thing I do remember from the match is obviously the pinata thing where he's dangling down, and then Rhea Ripley beats the shit out of him with a kendo stick. That was pretty great. And then Raquel Rodriguez ends up coming back,
Right.
and man, I don't know what the fuck she was wearing. But that was weird. I did not like that outfit that she had on. Whatever that top thing was.
It was a bikini top, and then it had like a.
I was like, what is
a vest?
Yeah,
like
I was
a
like,
cowboy
what is
vest.
fucking going on here?
Yeah.
I didn't like that. Also, she came out and obviously got Liv Morgan disqualified, so the title does not change hands. Rhea Ripley gets the win, but doesn't get the satisfaction of winning the belt.
And I feel like this is to not make this rivalry one-dimensional, so that they don't have to rely on Dominic making
Interference and all this, yeah.
all that dumb shit. So it's like, okay, they have this built-in friendship between Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah.
So that they don't have to go back to Dominic being involved all the time.
Yeah.
And then eventually that's going to set up Raquel Rodriguez eventually betraying Liv Morgan. And then you set up.
Then they have another feud, and then it just fucking keeps going.
Yeah.
So I also hate the fucking Rhea Ripley's, what's her finisher called? The Riptide or whatever. It's literally just a pump handle slam, all right? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, God damn, that's a normal ass move, all right? Just because you call it something different doesn't mean it's a finisher. It's fucking terrible. But anyways, that's besides the point. Yeah, this match was whatever. Didn't really do it for
this
me.
pay-per-view started off strong, and then it
just
finished
fizzled
like
out.
it just pooped out.
Yeah. Then we get into the what was the main event, which was Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus the Bloodline, being Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. And this match should, God damn it, I still don't know. Like, yes, I get it. For the ending payoff of having The Rock come back, you have to have this match at the end. You can't do this at the beginning, in the middle. You have to do it at the end. All right, you have to end the pay-per-view with The Rock coming out. That's how it has to go if you're going to do it.
I
still think it's unnecessary.
I thought they were going to come out with the win, because then it would justify this thing carrying on to the Survivor Series, so that they could really, quote unquote, end it.
Yeah,
I thought they were going to win.
So did I.
I thought Cody, or rather Solo Sikoa
and Jacob Fatu,
to really sell us on the Bloodline, because of how many times they've lost on PLEs.
Yeah.
That they were going to get the win.
Because now it's just like it's over now. Like this means I don't like who gives a fuck now going forward.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure. The match itself was pretty good. This was probably one of the better matches that they've had in terms of like the Bloodline. I felt like Cody Rhodes is his typical fucking bullshit that he does.
The Cody Cutter.
He looks like ass. I will say, I'll give him credit. The one thing that he did nice was the looking at Roman Reigns when he was going to jump off the top rope when he put Jacob Fatu on the table. Now, I didn't need the 45 minutes of preamble once he put him on the table, looking back, looking at him, going into the ring, then looking at him on the table again, getting into between the ropes, giving him a like an angry look, then looking at Roman, then looking back at Jacob Fatu and just, you son of a bitch, and then climbing the top rope, and then you son of a... Didn't need all that. All I needed for him, put him on the table, go back in the ring, climb the top rope, look at Roman, and really he should have pointed at him and said, go win the fucking match, and then jump off, and then give him the salute, right? That's what he should have said. But he looked at him, and then gave him the salute, and then jumped off, and then fucking took out Jacob Fatu so they could hopefully win the match.
And then he didn't even take him out.
Yeah, he didn't even take him out. Yeah, it did nothing in the long run.
Yeah.
So, Jacob Fatu, I think Jacob Fatu has some potential.
I think he came out looking pretty strong in this match, because they're setting him up to be this invincible Samoan.
Yeah.
because he took numerous hits. Like I think he took a spear. I think he took
he
a
did.
Superman punch. He just took numerous hits, and he also got set up for being on top of the announcer table and took that as well. But then he got back up, and then
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes beat the shit out of him again. And so it's like, oh, this guy can take the hits. He's an unstoppable force or whatever. So that was interesting somewhat. I just don't care that much.
Yeah.
And also, I will say to the credit of Solo Sikoa, but this is something that Roman already does. I think it was kind of more or less him borrowing from that, is that you heard him talk more shit. He was like, what did he say? He told Roman, he's like, tribal chief my ass. Like, he was talking like a lot of shit during the match, and it seemed like he had more personality and more emotion within the match itself. And I'm like, okay, cool. This guy, to me, comes across as cardboard, and there's a little bit more color to him now in this match. But this is like well after the fact that I don't care anymore. So it's like, what's going to come of this now?
To me, nothing. I don't think there's any point to this anymore. I think it's over. Obviously, whatever. The other guys, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, come out and fucking get involved.
Interference.
And then we get the return of Jimmy Uso, and he joins up. Roman Reigns fucking ends up spearing or Superman, whatever the fuck he did to get the dub, win the match. Them two leave. Cody Rhodes gets his ass whooped at the end by the whole bloodline, and then Jimmy Uso's like, yo, you promised you'd fucking, get his back or whatever. And Roman's like, no, this is like a one-time deal. Like, this is over. And he's like, no, man, it's still today. It still applies. Like, you got to go. And he's like, fuck. So they go in there. They clear the ring. And then they're standing in the ring again, having like this stare off. And then Cody Rhodes holds up the title like an idiot. And then, if you smell. And then we get The Rock coming out with his People's Champion fucking belt.
And I got depressed.
Yeah. And then, why'd you get depressed?
Because it's the fucking Rock. He won't go away, dude.
Yeah, he just won't. You're right.
I hate it. I'm so tired of fucking us going back to
the
old
well
days, dude.
Yeah.
Especially for somebody that's like closer to 60 than he is 50 at this point. The dude can't wrestle. We saw it at WrestleMania. What are they going to do? Okay, set up fucking Cody Rhodes and The Rock. So the fuck what? Nobody cares anymore. The guy can't wrestle.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a 30-minute match between these two, and Cody Rhodes is going to be the one that carries?
That's going to be terrible, man. That's going to be AIDS.
And I know what's going to happen. They're going to set up The Rock and say, oh, I gave orders to Solo Sikoa to realign the bloodline and have him be the tribal chief. And also that thing at WrestleMania where Roman made The Rock acknowledge him as tribal chief. He's like, I'm getting you back for that. Like that's all. I know we're getting to that. We're getting to that. And then WrestleMania is going to have, or rather not WrestleMania, Survivor Series is possibly going to have The Rock be on the 5-man team.
Oh yeah, that might be interesting.
And so that way he doesn't actually have to wrestle.
Right, yeah. He'll just be in there, and then he'll get in there for like 2 or 3 minutes and then out and then get other ones in. I do think that this is like, I think it's funny, this like Scott Pilgrim version of The Rock. Like he's the final boss, like this video game character fucking type deal. I don't know where the fuck how long this is gonna last. I hope not much longer. I hope Survivor Series we get like a conclusion to this, and then we can just move on from this bloodline shit and just get it over with. I don't think that's gonna be the case, but I hope. I'm sure The Rock is gonna fucking drag his fucking appearances out until next WrestleMania, or maybe even further. Maybe potentially forever.
I think you are right that he is going to become the Mr. McMahon, because he'll choose to intervene when he wants to, right? Because he's the board, one of the board members, and plot wise, he's like, oh, I could stuff myself in any plot line or any fucking match I want to because I'm the part of the board members or some bullshit. That's going to be the reason that he'll intervene whenever he chooses to do so.
If he wants to be a face, he'll intervene on behalf of the other faces. If he wants to be the heel, he'll intervene on behalf of the heel.
Yeah,
which is kind of what he's doing now, I guess. And so,
I think on the meta level, this is just The Rock trying to wash over his shitty movies and his shitty public image. He's like, all right, people still love me as The Rock, so I'll go back to that, and people will forget the shitty Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
And then we kind of watched over one of the things that happened, which was the attendance being mentioned by Triple H, and also
that's right. We did forget the new.
and then the bullshit Crown Jewel fucking new champion, and then Gunther comes out. He's like,
Yeah.
I won fucking Crown Jewel or King of the Ring or whatever the fuck it was. He's like, I fucking deserve that title. I need another strap over my shoulders to prove how awesome I am. And then they cut over to Goldberg, and Gunther like makes a joke of it. He's like, oh, I hope your dad is a better father than he was a wrestler. And I'm like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
And then he's like, also, Bill Goldberg was not my favorite wrestler. And yeah, it was great shit, dude.
Yeah, that was pretty great. I will say that fucking title does look fucking amazing. That Crown Jewel title. I don't know why we need this though.
It's going to end up like the 24/7 champion.
Well, it's not even. It's going to be worse than that because it's only going to be defended once.
Once in a, like, does it do anything? I don't even remember if they said if it does anything.
No, it's just like it makes they're replacing Night of Champions now basically because Night of Champions used to be where each brand's like champion would like face each other in a non-title match basically. And then now that it's going to be for this Crown Jewel title, but then like what? You get to carry it around until the next Crown Jewel? Like what does that even fucking matter? These two guys aren't going to be the same dudes next year, or you just get to carry it forever. You were the Crown Jewel 2024 champion, and you just get to keep it forever, and then they make a new belt every year. Is that what's going to happen?
Or even if they do go that route where that person wrestles for their championship or their belt, it also doesn't make sense because it's like, why would you, if it ends up being the case that the other person wins and then you get to the next pay-per-view of Crown Jewel and the person's not champion that won it, it just seems like strange.
Yeah. Also, this is a way. I think this is a cop-out way for them to let Cody Rhodes lose to Gunther, but not actually lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he'll lose, but he's going to keep the title. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is going to be ridiculous.
Overall, I didn't hate this pay-per-view.
No, didn't hate it. Didn't love
I'm like,
it.
considering it's one of the throwaway ones and it being brought back, it started off strong, it fell flat, but I think the strength of CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre outweighed the bad, and ultimately, like, this was a decent pay-per-view, like a 5.5 out of fucking 10.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like a 5.5, 6-ish.
Yeah.
So I don't know what. I think fucking is Survivor Series next, or is there another one?
No, I think there's one more. I think it's one of the. I think they go to maybe Saudi Arabia or something.
Maybe it is Crown Jewel. That's next. Let's see. What's
I
next?
don't know,
It should
dude.
tell us right here. Next. Oh, it doesn't have it. Next is Halloween Havoc.
For NXT.
NXT is Halloween
Jewel,
Havoc.
yeah.
Crown Jewel's next. Yeah, Crown Jewel's next, and then we get Survivor Series.
Oh, right. In December or November?
No, I think it's November 30th.
at the end of the month.
Oh, this one's in Canada.
Canada A.
Oh man, this will be the third Survivor Series after the 1997 Montreal Screwjob.
Oh, right.
But it'll be the first to be held in Vancouver.
Cool story, bro.
All right, so we got these storylines coming up. Who knows? Well, when's November 30th? What's the date of November 30th?
It's a Saturday. Come on.
Oh yeah, that's right, because they only do it on Saturdays now. God, that's so stupid. I hate that. Anyways, all right, well, maybe we'll have to watch this one fucking... maybe we'll have to do a live one on this one. I don't know.
Survivor Series?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that works.
'Cause it's maybe we should just go to the live ones for the big four.
Okay, that works.
So then that way we're not wasting time every fucking month doing this.
But I think we earned this one.
I think we did too. And then we can also eat delicious food.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Anyways. All right. Well, that'll do it for us. If you want to check out more of our shit, go to Game Rage Magazine on YouTube. You can like, comment, and subscribe there. You can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. You can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram. You can follow Frank at anime_syndicate_podcast. That'll do it for us. We'll catch you guys on the next one. That was another wonderful, amazing, powerful episode of the Game
Rage Wrestling Podcast. And take it from me, ladies and gentlemen, the natural lad, Jet Swag. If there's one podcast, one show you should be listening to, that you should be absolutely grateful for, it's the Game Rage Wrestling Podcast. And one of the things you can do to show your appreciation for all the hard work and dedication that these boys put out day in, day out, just for you people, it's that you can go and you can subscribe and you can like and follow them on the Instagram and the TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. You can also follow them and like them and subscribe to them on the old Twitter, which I don't know what it's called now, but who cares? It's at Game Rage Mag there. Additionally, if you feel the need to really show your appreciation, which you should, then go to their website at www.GameRageMagazine.com and show us some love. Show them some love. And show some love for the natural lad, Jet Swag.